9/11 was obviously a big thing for me. I was in 8th grade. I remember when they rolled the TV screen into the social studies class, and they were showing the attack, and I began to get interested in the military after that. As soon as I graduated high school, my only plan was to be a soldier, so I joined up. I couldn't wait to get on the bus and go. They actually told us that we'd be going to Afghanistan a few months afterwards. We were told we were going to be doing detainee operations in a POW camp. I didn't even know the United States still did that. So when we got in there, we went on a tour. They lined us up in front of the detainee cage. All the detainees were sawing their necks and they were spitting at us, and some of the guys next to me were crying. And in that moment, I knew that maybe I might need to be a little tougher to get through this. From that point on, I made the decision to carry that weight of some of these guys for about what we were going to face inside of that building. I was in an argument with the staff sergeant because he said that I was getting out of control with the detainee, and he pulled me out and replaced me with this female, and the detainee smashed her directly in the face and pretty much killed her right there on the floor. I had literally so much urine and feces and spit thrown on me that if it was just urine, I wouldn't even change my uniform. It happened so often. We never prepared for that. And every day I went in there, I was just like, maybe today I can shoot somebody. I just was like, I hope one of them mess up today. When we got back home, we had like a welcome home ceremony. And they marched us into the auditorium, and all of our family was in there, and they said, hey, you guys did a good job. I didn't even want to see my family, so me and my buddies all decided that we were just going to stay in St. Louis and get drunk. For the next 2 years, roughly, I bounty hunted felons, dangerous people, tagging them up and taking them to a detainee camp. And I was so addicted to the violence. I was just obsessed. That's all I knew. I got a job at a sheriff's department with like 6 or 8 other MPs that I deployed with, and we had a suicide room. I always had to check the guy in there every 15 minutes, and I'm like, man, I gotta check this guy, but no one's checking me, and when I go home tonight, maybe I just want to die too. I struggled with that until I finally got into it with an inmate and got hurt. During the recovery, I called the sheriff's department and I said I wouldn't be coming back.
On our first date, he got very emotional. I was like, wow, that's like really beautiful. And I didn't really think anything of it until we had some issues with my roommate at the time. The way that situation went down really triggered him. I noticed it was like a switch in his character and his personality. I wasn't 100% sure what was going on really with him at the time, but at that point I wasn't quite sure that it was the military. Right before we got married, I really pushed Brandon to seek military benefits. That's kind of whenever we got a little more entrenched in the VA system and realized how kind of unhelpful that system can be. I remember driving, I was dropping some stuff off at the post office, and a little advertisement came on for the Warrior's Journey. They're talking about helping veterans and military families and things like that. And at that point, I'm like, I don't even really know what we need help with, but I know that we need some help. And the Warrior's Journey have been very quick to provide aid to us, whether it's prayer, whether it's just listening. I wanted to pursue some marriage counseling because we were having a lot of issues, and immediately they responded, and that has been very, very helpful. I know for me, being able to relate to another woman who's married to a veteran, to me, it helps me not feel so alone, and being able to have access to job help or marriage counseling and things like that at no cost to us is really priceless. I know that I reached a edge at our marriage where I was like, if we don't seek help, I don't know if I can continue on. So that was really huge, I know, for me.
The warrior's journey was good for me because it felt safe. I could tell the people that I meet care. They're not just going to prescribe you 6 medications and send you out the door. They really provided somebody that has been through a lot of the same stuff that is successful. And that has given me hope. You know, you can't be the tough guy forever, because how many failed marriages, and do you want your kids to not like you and be afraid of you? How many jobs do you want to get? You gotta go. You gotta tell them, and to tell the truth. Do it for you, and do it for your family. Everything. Tell them everything. Tell them the truth, because they're gonna know how to help you. If you're sitting there with your arms closed and your guard up and you're acting like nothing's wrong, but you know you want to go home and end your life, you need to tell somebody. You know, take it from me, it will help.
Yeah.
You will come through, but you got to keep fighting the battle every day.
Being able to meet with people and talk with people who have been through the same thing that he's been through, and be able to provide both of us with resources has been absolutely life-changing.
This story is just one of thousands. The challenges they face are like the challenges so many of our warriors do. Complicated, personal, and too often misunderstood. For several decades, we've been paying greater attention to the physical needs of our wounded warriors. Those needs are great. Our overseas conflicts have left many physically broken and taken far too many lives. But a person is far more than a physical body, and not all wounds are external. The unique challenges our warriors face go much deeper than what most of us see. Isolation, post-traumatic stress, a loss of identity, and moral injury have cost too many jobs, marriages, and in an exploding epidemic of military suicide, even their lives. Our military has proven ill-prepared for facing these internal battles. Our military is designed to win wars, not to heal the wounds created by them. But our warriors deserve more. I have 2 sons currently serving in the military, and I realize, as they do, that when they sign their names to those enlistment forms, they are signing a blank check. They put everything on the table, up to and often including their own lives. They offer up their body, but they're also offering up their identity, their relationships, their families, and their future. So we owe them more than a round of applause. We have to get really serious about what check we're willing to write. What will we give in response to what they've already given, and what are we willing to do to say thank you for the sacrifices they make? At the Warrior's Journey, we've dedicated ourselves to making sure that every warrior has access to the help that they need externally, but also help for the complexity of those internal battles. That's really hard work, but it's worth it. And they've earned it. What will you do?